So I remember that in the previous video, I talked about a toxic community and what it basically is. And I just want to get into more details about that. And I also have another announcement to make at the end of the video. Oh, but don't worry, this won't be the only video that's gonna come out this week. In fact, I already plan a few videos to come out in the span of this week. And they're gonna be trading card gameplay videos online that I promised on another video. So, that said, let's get to it, I guess. So, the thing about toxic culture is that at a certain point, every culture, any fan base is gonna have some toxic people in it. But that's not really a problem. Just because a community has someone toxic in it doesn't make it a toxic community. Just because a fan base has some toxic people as a member doesn't make it a toxic fan base. It only really becomes a toxic fan base when a majority, or at least the louder majority of people, is toxic. And, well, there's an okay level of toxic and a dumb level of toxic. For example, if all you're doing is commenting on whether you agree or not, that's fine and dandy, because ultimately that's just self-expressionism. You're just expressing your opinion. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. The problem, however, is when you or people around you starts threatening with either violence or mental violence. What's mental violence? Speech is a form of mental violence. There's the saying that your mouth is your own tiger, or your tongue is a barbed wire, or your tongue is an arrow. Whatever, your words are arrows. It implies that your words can hurt either yourself or others. And that's kind of important. Now, now we're in the middle of pandemic, so maybe not much words from our mouth, but our hands, when we use it to type, can do pretty much the same thing. And it's technically even worse because in this case, it can really hurt you back. Because remember, it's a digital age. Unless you make some precautions, steps, and make some arrangements, those things you did in the past, they're gonna come back to haunt you if they can. Because that's just how people are these days. They will hunt you down, and the slightest mistake you make will be used against you. Okay, so what am I getting at? If you're a Genshin community player, you're gonna know about the news, right? Threatening voice actors, threatening the game studio, and all that. Look, I agree with all of you. I hate the anniversary gifts. I hate the lack of content. Not that I'm complaining that much about it though, because to be honest, even though the content's not getting added to the game, my artifact is still crap. It's still weak. Well, it's not weak, but it's not strong either. It's not a god roll artifact. And I've got a lot of characters to build, so for now, I am making the content for myself. And just because of the sheer nature of the game, if I get bored with one state of gameplay, I can simply switch characters. That literally forces me to switch how I would play the game, how I would interact with certain enemies. That is how I make content for myself. And everybody can do this. It's only really a problem when you don't want to try something new. You just expect something new to be given. It kind of takes time to make the content, really. It's easy for you to say, I need more content as a consumer, but as a creator, it's hard. It's really hard. More on that later. Moving on though, the game studio is still a valid target because technically they made the game, but voice actors? Guys, they're literally just paid to do the job, which is mostly to read a script. You can't blame an actor for bad movies. You blame the directors. You blame the art directors, executive directors. You complain to the producers. You complain to those people, not the actors. You only complain to the actors if their acting sucks, and that's specifically if they're not directed to act that way. How about to other consumers? I mean, let's face it, in Genshin, consumers don't only attack the studio and the staff, they also attack other members of the fan base. For example, Metaslave, casuals, not casual, filthy casuals, and others. So, yeah, that's kind of dumb. Like, let's be honest, that's kind of dumb. It's a single player game. Sure, you can multiplayer and co-op, but nowadays, if you're a high level player or if you're a Metaslave, you don't really go multiplayer because you know you're gonna finish it faster yourself. So what the hell, right? And that's the thing. If that's the case, then why are you even complaining about how others want to play the game? It's literally up to them, right? And it's also another case with free characters like Aloy. You guys are complaining about it breaking immersion and all that. Here's the thing. She's a free character. You don't pay anything to get her. Whether you invest on her or not, whether you raise her or not, that's entirely up to you. Heck, forget raising and use. It's up to you to even use her. I mean, what's she gonna do? Ruin your immersion in your character list? There's no immersion there. There's no background, just colors. There's literally no immersion to be ruined if you simply don't use her. You don't want her to be there on your character selection list? Fine. Don't claim her. The email would automatically delete itself after a few hundred days have passed. Just leave it there. Don't claim it. Done. Problem solved. You're not gonna get that Aloy. Aloy is not going to ruin your immersion. It's that simple. Settled. And yet, you guys still complain. It's like, what is there to complain about? Come on. Listen, I'm not exactly a free-to-play. I used to be, but, well, my friend gave me a birthday roll and I wanted to troll my friend, so I kind of spent some money to get all the doubles so that my friend can't use the doubles. So yeah, I kind of trolled my friend. That cost me to no longer go to free-to-play. And my friend spent, so that's definitely not a free-to-play account. But I still got that free-to-play mentality going on. I still think about, okay, shit, I don't have money. I don't have Primos. I gotta save. The lucky thing about it is I'm pretty damn lucky, so I usually get what I want on the first try. And I barely ever lose the 50-50. Except when I was rolling for Hu Tao, because I don't know. Maybe she's just a special case. Hu Tao is special. Maybe she's pranking me because she likes me. Hey, a man can dream. A man can dream. So, yeah, that's the thing about it. Toxic fan bases are just straight out dumb sometimes. And cancel culture is just worse. I mean, really, what's the point? Characters like Eula, she literally stands against slavery. And you guys are canceling her on the basis of slavery because her family once had slaves and all that. Hello? Have you guys ever seen the anime Attack on Titan? You don't hold the descendants responsible for their ancestors' mistakes. You don't do that because, one, those descendants might not even agree with their ancestors. Two, they might not even know. In Eula's case, she knows, but she's fighting against that. She's trying to be better. And then the other complaints is like, oh, but she told other people to kneel before her. She has a superiority complex just like her ancestors. Listen. She's raised by her family. It's only natural that some of her family's tendencies sticks with her. Right? It's like any other thing. If you're raised by a murderer who teaches you how to murder people, you're not gonna worry about murdering people because no part of you considers murdering people, killing people, to be something wrong. It's just something normal. It's an everyday thing to you. It's the same thing as that. That's just etiquette or mannerism for nobles to her. So it's not really a faulty character. It's not really a fault of morals. It's just a trait, a quirk. Just like I would have my own quirks where I like to troll my people, Hu Tao likes to prank people. It's that kind of stuff. So seriously, stop complaining. And if you do want to complain about stuff like that, don't complain about Genshin Impact game characters or anime characters or any other game characters for that reason. Complain about real life stuff, because you know what? It's a game. It doesn't affect you whatsoever. It doesn't really affect real life whatsoever, except for some minor cases where people might want to roleplay as those. But hey, roleplays are roleplays. They don't really affect real stuff. So yeah, complain about real people, real dictatorships out there. They exist, like North Korea, the CCP. If you don't know what the CCP is, look into it yourself, and stuff like that. Seriously. Like, come on, wake up, people. There are better things to do with your time. So, yeah, that's my opinion on toxic culture and cancel culture. And for cancel culture, the last thing I want to say is, you know what? It's not all bad. Why is it not all bad? Here's the thing. If you're canceling an actual crook, that's good. And if you're canceling the toxic part of cancel culture, that's the best cancel culture I'd ever hear about in my entire life. So try and do it. Cancel the toxic cancel culture. Can the cancel culture cancel itself? I hope so. I mean, come on. Can you do it? Can you not do it? It's really a challenge towards humanity's mindset as a whole. But I get it. People are bored because of the pandemic, so they just want to fuck around. It's fine. And then, moving on about the other videos I promised. So the video will either launch today or tomorrow or somewhere in the next week for the card game videos. They might launch at the same time, or they might launch in different days just to give you guys a variation of each. There might be some commentaries, there might not be some, I don't know yet, but yeah, I still gotta do some editing on those. But do note that it's really a casual gameplay between me and my friend that I decided to record just to show you guys that, hey, you can still play trading card games, you can still enjoy card games, even during the pandemic without having to risk getting sick yourself by going out there. So yeah, keep that in mind. I'm not going to tell my friends, hey, you gotta get a better mic, hey, you gotta get better connection, hey, you gotta silence your family or silence your neighbors. I'm not gonna do that. So if you want the perfect scripted video like that, no need to watch it. It's really just a casual gameplay between me and my friends. And now about the announcement I said I'm gonna make earlier. So in a previous video of mine, the same video where I talked about the toxic culture a little bit as a part of that video, I mentioned that I'm writing a story and that I might publish it in the future online. So after talking with my friends and, you know, having them read it as a part of my ego and stuff, I decided, you know what? Screw it. My friends have read it, people have read it, so might as well. If you guys want to see it, I'm just gonna let you guys entertain yourself with my folly. Now, ideally, I'd like to update it like once a week or once every 2 weeks, but like I said, writing is hard, so I might take more time. But other than that, it's free additional content, so I don't really see a thing to complain about, right? So yeah, if you're interested, I'm gonna post a link on the description below. If you guys are not interested, then, well, too bad for me and too bad for you guys, I guess. So yeah, see you on the next video.